What if the most powerful man in the world, the heir to Augustus Caesar, decided to abandon the glory of Rome for a secluded island? What if his retreat wasn't for peace and quiet, but for something far darker? This is the story of Tiberius, Rome's second emperor, a man who chose exile over his empire and left behind a legacy shrouded in scandal. Picture this: the sun-drenched island of Capri, with its stunning cliffs and sparkling blue waters. It seems like a paradise, right? But for Tiberius, it became something else entirely. In 27 AD, he left the bustling capital and never returned, ruling the vast Roman Empire by letter from his lavish villas on this remote island. But why? Was he simply tired of the political games in the Senate? Or was there another, more sinister reason for his self-imposed exile? The official story was that he sought solitude, a break from the burdens of power. But whispers from Rome, carried across the sea, told a different tale. These weren't just whispers. They were sensational stories penned by historians like Suetonius and Tacitus. They painted a picture of Capri, not as a tranquil haven, but as a private playground for the emperor's most depraved desires. According to these ancient accounts, Tiberius's isolation allowed his darkest impulses to run wild. The most infamous of these stories revolves around his so-called spintriae, a term sometimes translated as his little fishes. Suetonius writes with shocking detail about the emperor's private swimming pools, where he allegedly engaged in bizarre and disturbing games. These tales depicted a ruler lost to moral decay, surrounded by companions who catered to his every whim, no matter how strange. The stories that trickled back to Rome were so scandalous they shocked a society already accustomed to extreme excess and luxury. Capri, in these narratives, was less a paradise and more a stage for unspeakable acts. Imagine the scene. High up on the cliffs, in the magnificent Villa Jovis, its ruins still standing today, the emperor orchestrates his hidden life. From here, he could see across the bay to the mainland, a constant reminder of the world he had left behind. Legends even claim that those who displeased him were unceremoniously thrown from these very cliffs into the sea below. The island became a symbol of absolute power, combined with absolute secrecy. It was his personal kingdom, far from the prying eyes of the Roman Senate and the public. But here's the crucial question we have to ask. How much of this is true? We must remember that history is often written by the victors, or in this case by those who came after and had their own political agendas. Tiberius was not a popular emperor. He was seen as gloomy, suspicious, and reclusive, a stark contrast to the charismatic Augustus. His successors, particularly the Julio-Claudian emperors who followed, had every reason to tarnish his reputation to make their own reigns look better by comparison. Think of it as ancient political slander. Could these sensational stories of debauchery have been propaganda skillfully crafted to destroy Tiberius's legacy? Historians like Tacitus, while a brilliant writer, was also a senator who held a deep-seated bias against the imperial system. He saw emperors like Tiberius as tyrants who had corrupted the old Roman Republic. It was in his interest to portray Tiberius in the worst possible light. Spreading rumors of moral corruption was a powerful tool to undermine a ruler's authority, both during his life and after his death. So, we are left with two conflicting images of Tiberius. Was he a monstrous tyrant who escaped to Capri to indulge in his secret vices, a real-life emperor of excess? Or was he a misunderstood, perhaps weary, ruler who became the victim of a brilliant and ruthless smear campaign? A man who simply wanted to escape the political snake pit of Rome, only to have his enemies fill the void with the darkest, imaginable fictions. The truth likely lies somewhere in the middle. Perhaps Tiberius was no saint, and his isolation may have allowed for some questionable behavior. But the most extreme tales might just be that, tales. Exaggerations and fabrications designed to create a legend of a fallen emperor. What Tiberius ultimately left behind is an empire that continued to thrive, and a tantalizing mystery that has captivated historians and visitors to Capri for 2,000 years. The shadow he cast from that sunny island is a powerful reminder that history is not just a collection of facts, but a tapestry of stories, secrets, and scandals where the line between truth and legend is often beautifully and terrifyingly blurred. Thanks for watching. If you're fascinated by the hidden corners of history, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the past. See you next time.